This is Wonderwall by Oasis. I've chosen to teach this song to you today because it's a great song for beginners and intermediate guitar players to learn. And it also features a lot of chords that are a little bit out of the ordinary. So you're not just limited to learning, you know, the usual C, D, E minor, G kind of thing. So if you want to stretch out and learn some new chords, this is a song for you. It's also a great song that you can sing and play along with for your friends. It translates really well to acoustic guitar, and primarily in the recording, it's acoustic guitars. So we're going to cover that today, starting with the chords. We're not going to cover the solos and all the ambient things that happen in the background. I do cover them in a different lesson that's available. For now, we're going to keep it really basic and simple for beginners. So I'm going to cover the chords in the order that they occur in the song here during the chord lesson, so that it's easier to apply them when we learn the chord patterns in the verse and chorus and bridge. It all starts with E minor 7. To produce an E minor 7, first we're going to use our first and second fingers as if they're one finger, as if they're one unit, on the 5th string and 4th strings, both on the 2nd fret. From there we're going to use our 3rd and pinky, also as if they're one unit, on the 3rd fret, on the 2nd string and 1st string. And it should sound something like this. From there we're going to move to the G5 chord. The move here is fairly simple. You're just going to take your 2nd finger and move it over to the 3rd fret on the 6th string. Next up we have D suspended 4. To do this one, we're just going to move our 1st finger over here to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And after that we have an A7 suspended 4 chord. Here we're just going to move our 1st finger to the 2nd fret on the 4th string and play 5 strings. So we have E minor 7, G5, D suspended 4, and A7 suspended 4. Now there's a couple other chords that you're going to need to know for the song, one being C. You may already know this one. The way we produce a C is our 1st finger goes to the 1st fret on the 2nd string, 2nd finger to 2nd fret on 4th string, and 3rd finger to 3rd fret on 5th string. We're going to need to know the regular D chord, which is your 1st finger on the 2nd fret 3rd string, 2nd finger 2nd fret 1st string, and 3rd finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And that's all the chords you're going to need to know to play this song. Now we just have to put them all together in the patterns that they occur to create the verse, chorus, and bridge. Let's do that now. Okay, the chorus to the song is really straightforward. It's just the same 4 chords repeated. So here's what it's going to look like. We're going to go C, D, E minor, G5, C, D, E minor, G5. And we're going to do that 4 times. So there's 2, here's 3, and 4. Then it all ends and we move back into the verse. Here's the strum to Wonderwall. It's going to look something like this. You want to keep your eye on my right hand here. And slowly what I'm doing here is down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, down. And notice when I do the strum, my right hand moves in a very consistent motion. Actually, it moves rather quickly. So it's hard to see it on video, I'm sure, when I play it up to speed. But when I slow it down, there's times when I miss the strings and times when I hit the strings. You want to be sure to miss the strings when you don't want to sound and hit them when you do want to sound. Like I said earlier, it's going to go down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. And he throws some extra strums in here and there to kind of drive it along a little bit. But for a good consistent strum for beginners and intermediates, stick with the strum I just showed you. And once you get comfortable with that, then stretch out a little bit and maybe throw a few extra strokes in there here or there. So let's take a look at the left hand chord changes. On all the chord changes, you want to change them on a downbeat. So whenever I do a downstroke is when I'm switching chords. Switch, 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 down switch, down switch, down switch, down switch. So there's a little bit about the right and left hand coordination for the strum to this song. Let's go ahead now and put it all together. Okay, this is the verse pattern to Wonderwall. You may notice that I have a capo right here on the 2nd fret. So if you own a capo, go ahead and get it out, throw it on the 2nd fret. The reason I went through the chords in the open position is because I want you to be able to apply those chords to other songs in addition to just Wonderwall. So now we're going to take all those chords we just learned and just bump them up. So our first finger is going to be based on the 4th fret. And if you can do that, then you're good to go. The chord progression sounds something like this. Probably sounds familiar. And the chords that we're using here are the chords we just learned. E minor 7 to G5. To D suspended 4, to A7 suspended 4. And there's a strum in there that we're going to get to a little bit later, but right now I'd like you to focus on the left hand part of this. And we'll go over it kind of slow here. From the E minor 7 to the G5, you just move your 2nd finger to the 3rd fret on the, or 5th fret rather, with the capo on the 6th string. Then we're going to move over to the D suspended 4, real easy. And then we just slide our first finger over here to the 4th string for A7 suspended 4. And as you can see, that pattern repeats over and over until he gets to the C chord, which is part of the end of the verse or the beginning of the bridge, depending how you want to look at it. So let's move on and go to the bridge. Okay, the chorus to the song is really straightforward. It's just the same 4 chords repeated. So here's what it's going to look like. We're going to go C, D, E minor, G5, C, D, E minor, G5. And we're going to do that 4 times. So there's 2, here's 3, and 4. Then it all ends and we move back into the verse. Okay, before we get to the bridge, I just want to clarify how the end of the verse goes into it. It's a C chord to D chord, and we do that twice. And in the case of the first verse, he does that twice and then goes back into the second verse. In the case of the second verse, he does it twice and goes into the bridge. So again, that's C to D twice. So we leave our chord pattern here. Hit C to D, C, D, and back into our pattern. And I'm going to play that along with the music. So there's that little part between the verse, or between the verse and the bridge if we're going into the second verse. If you throw that in there, you'll be able to put all the pieces together, and you'll sound just great. Okay, now we're going to cover the bridge part of the song. You may want to get a pen and some paper ready so that you can write down the changes as we go. Here's how they go. We're going to go C, D, E minor 7. And then we're going to do that again. C, D, E minor 7. Then we're going to go C, D, G5, E minor, and then we're going to go to A, and we're actually going to hold that A for 4 bars. So you notice I did 1 strum on all the other chords, and when I got to A, I did 4. Again, get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. We're going to have C, D, E minor 7, C, D, E minor 7, C, D, G5, E minor, to A. Now if you are familiar with some other chords and you want to move from the G5 part to the E minor with the little step that he uses, which is a D over F sharp chord, go for it. I've kind of omitted that because, like I said earlier, this lesson is primarily for beginners and intermediates. You can even cheat a little bit and just use your first finger for that note, which is the 2nd fret, or with the capo, the 4th fret on the 6th string. And then it goes straight into the A chord. So if you want to stretch out a bit and try something new, go ahead and throw that extra note in there, or even the D over F sharp chord.